What's wrong with the world today? Is that ever a huge question, right? I'm pretty opinionated, as most people know, but I believe that what ails the world today can be solved by looking at what you're having for dinner, or lunch, or breakfast, or any time you put anything in your mouth. Look at what you're eating and start to ask some serious questions. I fully believe that what is on a plate of food can solve social, economic, and the environmental problems of the world today. We live in a world where we have agricultural industry, we have intensive farming, and we have an entire population that doesn't care or doesn't know where their food comes from. They just want it now. And they want it all. They want everything. And they don't want to pay top dollar for it. So when you look at your dinner plate today, I want you to start to ask yourself, where did it come from? Who had to be exploited so I can get this beef or this chicken for this cost? What people had to be forced back to work in those meat processing plants during COVID-19 so that I can continue to have my hamburgers at the price that I'm used to? That change is coming, by the way, because as we go and as the world continues to evolve and change over time because of us, food is going to become less reliable, less secure, and less affordable. And because of that, we need to start asking ourselves some real serious questions. Do farmers really feed cities? No, they don't. Farmers feed cities their best and brightest, their young, their grandchildren, so that we have seen huge amounts of rural decay out here. Villages and towns that used to be bustling and alive are now just shadows of their former selves. And tracts of land that used to be operated with diverse farms that looked a lot like this in this storybook, with cows and pigs and chickens and sheep, which doesn't exist anymore, by the way. That used to exist in spades out here. The numbers, they don't lie. Farmers feed industry today. The corn that is around me in thousands and thousands of acres, it gets processed, it gets sold like a commodity, and you never really eat it. It might go to what your food eats, to the cows. A lot of it gets processed into ethanol. Soybeans get exported. They also get processed into different products. I'm not saying that's all bad, but the way that it's gone so far, it's just too extreme. We shouldn't be doing as much as we are with this land for industry. It should be our food. This is some of the most arable farmland in the entire world. And we plant gasoline, and we spread pesticides and all these fertilizers all over our land, and we can get into that discussion later, but we're salting the earth. There is a better way. We've had agriculture as a civilization for thousands of years, and we are trying to improve on something that we already understood and we already knew. Technology is wonderful, but we've gone a little bit too far. We need to decentralize our food systems, and we need to start asking questions of ourselves, the eaters, the consumers. What do you want to be? Because when you look at your plate of food, what I see is that we're greedy, we're impatient, we're thoughtless, and we're completely unconscious to the effects that we're having on the planet by what we stuff in our face. So when you're eating today, start to think about what the real cost is, because you are what you eat. And around us right now, we are an unhealthy planet that is looking for answers. If you want answers, look down at what you're eating, what's at the end of your fork, and start to think that maybe you shouldn't just be a consumer. Maybe you should be a caretaker. Maybe you should be a steward. Maybe you should just care a little bit more about the land where your food comes from, rather than just driving through and picking up a quick bite to eat. So think about it. What are you?